Good morning, everyone. My name is Lillian White. I'm from Rocky Mount, North Carolina. I am a middle school self contained teacher. My students are of the MU population. My students are nonverbal, and all of them are in wheelchairs. But even though they are nonverbal, that does not eliminate the fact that they still have their own form of communication, and they still exhibit behaviors that are not always the best behaviors in a classroom setting. Nevertheless, the one thing that I look forward to in learning in this class is the application of the applied behavioral analysis. And the reason I say that is a few years ago, I had a child who basically at 2 months of at 2 months old, I knew something wasn't quite right with this child. And as the child began to grow and get older, things just wasn't clicking. This child's behavior was as a feral child almost. He exhibit his behaviors were as if he was raised in the wilderness by wolves. Nothing soothed this child, nothing calmed this child. He would not talk. He had no words. He could vocalize, scream, holler, and but he just nothing I could do would help. So eventually, I found this program, and it was an ABA program where he would go for 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. And I went to visit a time or two, and at first I was like, oh, I'm going to pull my child out of this program because of the sternness, the strictness, but it helped. It helped tremendously. So now I have recently adopted a child, and this child is not on the autism spectrum. He will soon be 5. I've had him since he was 2. He's not on the autism spectrum, but he do have some disabilities with him. He has chromosome deletions, and and the chromosome deletion that he has does affect behavior. And so I had been trying to implement some ABA strategies that I remember with the other child, but it's not working. It's not working. And so I figure I can glean something from this course that will help me to help this child and his behaviors. My I guess that would be my long term goal as well, to not just for my child in my home, but in my classroom setting as well. As I said, even though the children are nonverbal, lots they have behavioral issues. And from what I understand, when the school year begins for the 2020 session, I'm going to be getting two that have very extreme behaviors. And so I'm hoping that by the end of this course, I will have gained some knowledge that will help me to at least set a order or set a routine in place immediately with these students so that we won't struggle all school year, struggling with communication as well as behavior. you the We were asked to tell of something that is interesting. I don't know. I like to drive. I like to travel. I've traveled from Rocky Mount to Nevada 2 years straight. Last year it was just myself and 4 children, ages 4 to 13. Hopefully, depending on the pandemic, we were going to try and do it again before school opened. I have 10 children. I have 4 children that I birthed, 3 children that I married, and 3 children that I adopted. Other than that, I am just me, Lillian. Thank you very much.